Hi everybody, it's Debbie here. Welcome back to my Crafty Den. So today I am doing part 3 of my DIY Traveler's Notebook on a Budget series. So far we've created the cover and we've put the strings on it, and we have created the insert. I plan on making some more inserts for this, but look how cute that is with that insert in there. So today I am going to make some dashboards, and what I've done is gone through some of my scrapbooking paper. Let me haul out, and I've gone through some pages and found some different ones that I liked. Now I found some this color. I went through some of my fall scrapbooking papers because they're kind of the color here. They're kind of these colors is what I've gone for. These reds and golds, and yeah. So I took this and I went through my booking papers, and I cut out or ripped out some pages that I thought would go good with this. So I'm going to set that there. And I'm just going to show you. I have a variety, some in the red tones, some in the green tones, and these peaches. And so I'm just going to go through them and see what I like the best. Now, when I looked at it in the other room, I thought this, maybe I was looking at this part here, which kind of does go with this, which is, it's kind of nice. Not sure that that's the one I want to go with or not. I do love this brick color, and it matches, like it just goes with these. It gives that whole, it's like a hot color. I like it. I do actually like it. And I'm thinking that if I made a dashboard with this, it would look nice underneath a piece of vellum as well, if I decide to put some vellum in here. So that's a contender. I'm going to set that one there. I have this one. Now, this one looks like somebody made it to go with this. So this is definitely a contender. And these go well, like these contrast well, but they go well together. So yeah, I like those two. And I'm wanting some gold in here, some gold foiling. So I hauled out these two, and they both kind of go. Like they both, this is kind of okay because of this, and this is kind of okay. Actually, that is kind of okay. What I'm going to do then now is take back these two and see which one of these I want to go with this. I think I like this one better. So far I've got these three, and I want 4 dashboards. So I'm going to set these over here because I'm kind of eliminating them. I'll just put them there. And I'm still, so this is out. And I want something a little more plain. This green stripe, that one, or this one. Oh gosh, these papers all go with this cover so well. What's on the outside here? Let's see. I really want to kind of match it with the inside because that's what you're going to see when it's open. Oh my gosh. I think that one green is enough, but now I'm trying to decide whether do I really like that one or do I like this one. This one, this set. It's so far this. Now does this match? Oh my goodness, isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, so I think this one's coming out. This is kind of my process when I'm matching papers together. I'm just looking at this and what pleases me. I don't care if somebody tells me You can't do that because, ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm thinking I like this better. It's hard to choose, but I think those are the 4 that I'm going to go with. I think this is my 4. That's a lot of gold foil, but you know what? I really, really like that. Do I like it with this as much? It's almost hard to tell what color these leaves are. It's almost like they're a blue-gray. They kind of go with this, though. And with this in here a little bit. So yeah, and I love gold. And I love the foiling. So these are my 5 or 4 papers that I'm going to use. So that's my process on how I pick out my colors. The next part of this process is going to be cutting these to the proper height. And of course, I am going to use my paper trimmer for that. So let me pull it over here. I have my laminator sitting over there ready to use. So I am going to, oh, my colors, sorry about the light. As soon as I put anything foily or shiny underneath, everything goes to heck in a handbasket, or as you know what they'd say. So, yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, now remember, everybody's notebook, you're making it to your own personal size, and I am going to measure this because this is what you should do. So this is 6.5 inches. So I am going to cut my paper just shy of 6.5 inches. And the reason for that is, let me see, 6. I'm going to make, this is my, I'm going to get a new paper cutter, guys. Yeah, this is starting to get annoying. It really, really is. So every time I go to do something, I have to put a new mark on my board. Let me get my pens over here. I'm going to set one right there and get this one right here. And I'm going to mark here because I'm talking funny because I got the end of the pen in my mouth. I'm going to mark there so that I know where to cut for all of them. So this is my height, and I want this to be the bottom. So I am going to put my paper in this way, and I'm going to trim. And I'm going to do the same with all 4 pieces of paper. I'm going to get my height first. I want to get my cutting out of the way so I can put this paper trimmer away and you don't have to look at this. Now remember, keep all your scraps because they're always good for something else. And these are like really good cutoff sizes. So definitely, definitely don't lose your leftovers. Now this one, because it's kind of like a watercolor, it looks like it's a water-stained paper. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to put it in this way because this is a little darker color on this edge, and that's what I want. So trim that right down there. Okay, so I've got my height on all 4 of my pieces of paper. And now I want my width. Now I want to make sure that it's going to wrap this really, really well. And the reason that I'm picking these colors to match my notebook is because I want my dashboards to match the inside. I may change these out, like my inserts. You can change these out over the whole time that you're using it. So you want your dashboards to match more than, say, these. So the back of this ended up being 8, and it looks like 7/8. Yeah, 8 7/8. So that's what I'm going to cut my paper as. Now my laminating sheet will stick out over that a little bit and make it a tiny bit bigger, but I do want the paper part to cover. So what did it say, 8 7/8. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my 4 pieces of paper that I've got, my 4 sheets, and I'm just going to put them in here like this. And I am going to, so I want this as my front cover this way, so I'm going to put it in this way. So 8 7/8. I've got that one on there. It's not one off. Isn't it funny how we go into the craft store and we'll be doing like this all the time and saying, oh, we need a new paper trimmer, we need a new something or other, but every time we go in, something else catches our eye, and then we end up not getting the thing that we actually went in for in the first place. Does anybody else do that? Or is it just me that gets carried away with seeing all the new pretty things? I'm terrible. I'm like a kid in the candy store when I get in a craft store. There, so I have my pieces all cut. That's easy enough. Now, let's get this out of the way so we can once again see. It's a little bit dark in here. The sun's shining. I have no idea why I can't get good light in here. Let's get rid of that. I need some filming lights is what I need. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, or my corner trimmer, and I am going to round the corners on all of these. See? Just like this. The same reason that I rounded the corners on my notebook when I made it, like my notebook insert. I just think it looks more finished and more like maybe like I bought it somewhere. That's just my preference. Some people like the corners, like the right angle corners. Me, not so much. But I didn't do this at first. The first TM that I made for myself, and I made all my inserts and stuff, they all had right angle corners. Like they all had these points, because I didn't have a lot of tools when I first started. Everything I did was pretty much with a ruler, a pair of scissors, and anything that I could find in the house that would work. So don't think that to start crafting that you need to have all the tools. Oh my gosh. If I had have waited till I had all the tools, I never would have made anything in my lifetime. It's not until you actually start creating that you realize which ones of the tools that you want to buy first, which are your priorities. So I'm going to take my bone folder. Whoa, sorry. I'm going to take my bone folder, and all I'm going to do is put it on my paper like this. I think this helps to bend the fibers in the paper, because this is going to wrap like this around your inserts. And when you go to wrap it, when it's in the, once it's been laminated, I don't know why, but I think that doing this helps. So all I'm doing is putting my bone folder down on the table and then pulling my paper through it like that. You know how you curl a ribbon? And I find I think what it does is breaks the fibers in the paper a little bit. Especially if you were using a heavier cardstock to make these. This is just scrapbooking paper, so it's not real heavy. But it still, I think it still helps. So I've done that. Now I'm going to take my laminating sheets, and I am going to open it up. It doesn't fit. Look at how close, eh? And it's not enough of an overhang though, so I am actually going to use my full laminating sheet like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my laminating sheet. Which way does it open? Come on, there. I'm going to open up my laminating sheet just like this. I am going to put this in there nice and tight, because that edge doesn't have to be trimmed then. Put it in there so it's straight. Get it nice and straight, because I don't want to trim that. And then I'm going to put that down like that. And my laminator should be almost heated up. I am just going to bring this over here like this. Okay, and just take this, set it on your tray, and drop it in there so that it'll slide through. And while that was going through, I am going to set up the other three. This is the last one, and I always put my laminator sheets through twice. So I've been putting them through this way and flipping them over and putting the colored side up. So I know I've done them all twice. I'm going to trim them down, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So I take my paper trimmer, and I don't need to put the arm up because I'm not measuring anything. If you can see on here, there's a little, see right here, there's a little tiny airspace at the edge of the sheet. There's a tiny little air pocket there. When you trim these down, you need to go outside of that air pocket just so you can make sure that it doesn't open up. My down and trim. And what that does is make sure that I make a nice straight line, but I trim it outside of that little airspace. Because if you don't trim it outside the airspace, it'll open up and you'll end up with a big gap there. You don't want that. You've gone to some trouble to make these, and you don't want that to happen. So I'm going to trim these all down, and I'll be back and show you the next step. They're all trimmed down. They're really pretty. I've given this one a crease, and I'm going to do that to all of them. So I'm going to take them, I'm going to just roll them back and forth like this, just a little bit like that. And that's where that rolling the paper came in a little bit helpful before. But then I'm going to try to line up these, and I'm just going to push this down. Now it doesn't have to be, you know, like that type of a crease. You can do it with your fingers. That's fine. You can use your bone folder if you want to. That's fine too. And this one. And then I only have one last step to do. So there, I have my 4 dashboards. Now all I want to do is trim these corners off. And I don't want to ruin my corner rounder, and I don't have to, because I can take, I have a guide here, so I can just come out with my scissors and just do that. And this is mostly just so that I'm not going to cut myself on one of these points, because these points are a little annoying. That's why I like my rounded corners. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put them in the book, and I'll show you. So they're trimmed, and they're going in my notebook now. So how you're going to use these. I like that. When I open it up, I just love that one and that one. They just look so fresh and nice there. So I'm going to put one here on this string, and when I make my notebook, it'll fit right in there. Then I am going to put this one, I think, next. And I'm going to put it on that string. And then I am going to put this one next. And that's going to go on that middle string. Let me lift that up. There, it's going to go on that string. And then this one is going to go around this notebook right here. My other notebooks when I put them in. So I have 4 dashboards in here. Now, like dashboards is for a lot of different reasons. Doesn't that look pretty when I open up my book, for one thing? The dashboards can stay in and your notebooks just fit inside. And over time, these dashboards will start to lay nice and flat. There. You can take a pen loop and you can attach the pen loop to your dashboard so that you don't have to attach it to the cover. That's another reason. These are great. On the inside, I like to put sticky notes and things like that on the inside of here. But the reason, a lot of people will do these dashboards and they'll put 2 pieces of paper back to back, or they'll use double-sided paper. I kind of like this white on the inside. And if I needed to, this is kind of like a whiteboard now. I could write on this with an erasable marker and just wipe it off when I needed to, which is kind of nice. But I do like the fact now that I can put stickers or whatever on the insides of these, and the outsides are so darn pretty. They're just so gorgeous. So anyway, that's the dashboards. That's the 3rd step in DIYing your traveler's notebook on a budget. Now, you might say to me, how is that a budget if I have to go out and buy a bunch of scrapbook paper and a laminator and laminating sheets? You don't. For the paper, you could use dollar store gift bags. Now, the dollar store has small little gift bags as well as the large ones. Dollar Tree has amazing, amazing gift bags, and so does Dollarama here in Canada. But you could find little gift bags so that the whole picture is on the size that you wanted, and then cut it to size and laminate it, and think how pretty that would be. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be all one piece. You could use the front of a gift bag here and the back of your gift bag here and put them in your laminating sheet. And if there's nothing down the center, it doesn't matter because that's against your spine. You're not going to see it. So that would be a really, really cool idea to make a dashboard cover. You can use tissue paper if you want to. You can do self-laminating sheets instead of the laminator. And you can buy the self-laminating sheets at Dollar Tree and Dollarama. Or, and I did this when I very first started, I used to get the clear packing tape, and I would make my dashboard paper, and I would cover the whole thing with packing tape and put it in. And if you're careful when you're putting the packing tape on, because it's nice and wide, you only need a couple of strips to cover both sides of this. Or if you're making a larger one, you know, accordingly. And yeah, so there you go. You could get your paper and your packing tape from Dollar Tree and do all this for just a couple of dollars. So far in this, we've got like $1.25. I'm talking Canadian prices because we pay $1.25 at Dollar Tree in Canada. So $1.25 for the cover. You could buy some elastic string at the dollar store, and that would be $1.25. You could get the gift bags, so you could pay $5 for that. So far you've got under $10 if you wanted to use packing tape or laminating sheets and you know, just printer paper and some scrapbooking, or not scrapbooking paper, but whatever paper you can get at the dollar store. It's your own. You can use whatever you want. So go ahead. I hope you're making one along with me, because right now you should have some notebook inserts, you should have the cover, and you should have your dashboards after you're done this stage. So yeah, and this is starting to feel nice and substantial. I like it, and I'm going to come back tomorrow with a video on how to finish this up, maybe make a pocket for inside here, and you know, something to put some receipts in or something like that, and a pen loop, how to make a pen loop for this. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let me know down below what you're thinking of this series so far. Bye-bye for now, and have a great day all. I'll see you in the next one.